Well, the fate of President Zuma is expected to be sealed during the ANC special NEC meeting in Cape Town tomorrow. Contrary to recent statements of contradictions by Secretary General Ace Magashule on President Zuma's future, Deputy Secretary General Jesse Duarte has told the media that the NEC was now united in the decisions that would be taken. Magashule and Duarte contradicted the party president Cyril Ramaphosa, who earlier said the top six were negotiating a dignified exit for the president.
We'll be discussing a matter of serious concern to all of us within the ANC, and of course a matter of great public interest to the people of South Africa. And that's what we're going to do on Wednesday. We're not going to discuss with you an outcome because we don't know the outcome. The outcome will be known after the discussion has been held.
Well, at the same time, the presidency has downplayed reports that President Zuma has convened an urgent cabinet meeting in Cape Town. Presidential spokesperson Dr. Bongani Nqulunga says the meeting is an ordinary session of cabinet committees. And for more on this, we cross to our presidential correspondent Mzwandile Mbeje. He joins us from our studios at Parliament. Mzwai, good afternoon to you. I mean, you heard the previous story that I introduced about the speculations and the contradictions, and as much as speculation is to be avoided, there have been all these meetings without exact known outcomes, which doesn't offer surety, it doesn't offer stability. So give us some clarity, Mzwai, on all things SONA, on these meetings, on this cabinet meeting, and on President Zuma's fate.
Thanks, Natasha. You'd realize that at about perhaps 45 minutes, the presidency issued a statement basically confirming what we had spoken about as the SABC earlier, when the media reports were doing the rounds that the cabinet has been called. So because we did try to confirm that about 2 or 3 hours ago, and then we were able to confirm that that was not the case. And then they have since issued that statement basically confirming what we've been saying as the SABC, that the meetings that are underway, Natasha, are routine cabinet committee meetings. Those meetings normally happen on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. They look at a number of issues, basically issues that need to be taken to cabinet. So the scheduled cabinet meeting that will take place will only be next week as per the program of last year. So these meetings that are happening, they have not just been called today, but they were planned as early as last year. So, and then those reports which were saying there are urgent cabinet meetings, I can confirm to you that it's not the case. But of course, we know the anxiety around this issue is because of the meeting that happened yesterday of the NWC, Natasha, where the NWC was getting a briefing from the top six. You remember, the top six had been mandated to engage with President Zuma on issues relating to transition and, of course, his future. Given those interactions, so they then went back to the NWC to discuss these matters. Then the NWC, which is responsible for day-to-day running of the ANC, can't take any decisions around this matter. So this is why they've decided to call a special NEC meeting, which will take place here in Cape Town. So that meeting, the NEC meeting, so will then give us the clear indication as to what is it that they'll decide, as Jesse had indicated. And of course, you did hear her at pains to say whatever decision that will be arrived at, everyone will support it. Of course, these things relate broadly to President Zuma's future. You remember immediately after the leadership was elected, there were talks that perhaps he will be asked to step aside because they want to start afresh, given the kinds of perhaps issues that have been around President Zuma. They say they want what they call a clean start. So when those negotiations in Pretoria on Sunday couldn't perhaps yield an outcome, so that's why it was reverted back to the bigger committees. And then, of course, the NEC, which will be the one which will give us an indication of what is happening. So the reason why this confusion, if some action is happening, is because everything simply points to the possibility of either a recall of the president. Why is this thing so important? because on Thursday we expect the State of the Nation address, and the State of the Nation address, Natasha, is only delivered by the President. So given that his future could be decided tomorrow, so everyone is anxious. So then what happens on Thursday?